Scrapbookers, it's Katie Scott, and today I'm going to be working on this album that is going to be all about summer. It's a gold album, it's 6 by 12, and I made a 3-page spread. It probably took me way too long to put it together, but I've had a little scrapbooking hiatus, and usually I'm a little bit slow and rusty when I get back, or maybe I'm just slow, I don't know. But here's the little title page, and then I used 1-page divider in the middle. And then still, the last page is just like a full, it's not a divided page, but I kind of set it up like a divided page, so it almost looks like a mini Project Life type layout. And then that's it. So it takes me forever to put it together, but I'm using so this is number 1 on my self-imposed challenge of making 20 layouts with a haul that I got from a yard sale. And so there is a video all about what is in this ginormous amount of stuff. But I'm just going to be using that for these next 20 layouts. Is the $30 I spent at the scrapbook yard sale. I'm going to make 20 layouts. I should probably make 30 layouts. I'm going to make 30 layouts with my $30 worth of scrapbook haul. So that'll be $1 a page. That's kind of, yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay. So get your stuff and prepare to hear me ramble, but this is the first in a series of, yeah, it's going to be a series of 30, so there you go. So lots of videos will be coming to you soon. Okay. I'm Katie Scott, and my blog is called Kiss and Tell Scrapbooking, and I make, for the most part, real-time videos, so if you're new to my YouTube channel, don't expect concise, expect a lot of ums. A lot of people like the videos, I think, because they can scrap along with me, and I just kind of talk as, you know, whatever comes into my mind. I don't always finish my thoughts, but it's as though you were scrapbooking across the table from someone at a crop, and they just wouldn't shut up. That's me. Okay. So if you like that sort of thing, continue and let's start scrapbooking. Go get your stuff. Hey Scrapbookers, it's Katie Scott, and I have, this is going to be a summer, it's like a celebration of summer book. It's 6 by 12, and I have like the full page protectors and then also the divided ones. And what I'm pulling from today is, as far as supplies, I did a scrapbook yard sale not too long ago, and I spent $30 and I got like a gazillion things. So I've pulled some Teresa Collins papers, and some of the papers, these papers from Save the Date, were like kind of wrinkled up, and so actually that would normally bother me, but it doesn't really, because I'm going to cut these all into, you know, the 6 by 12 size, so I think I can work around that. I pulled a chipboard, embellishments, some letter stickers, and then some more embellishments here, all kind of within that family stories line, so I think that's going to be a great start. So let's start. And what I thought that I would do as far as starting was to probably do 1 page that was just the 6 by 12, and then the companion page that is this divided up one. So what I want to do first is kind of figure out what's going to go where. And I do like that big one. I have like way more photos probably than I'm going to scrapbook. But we'll see. My daughter's looking real snarky in that one. So I will mention, and I took a lot of, like, I printed a bunch that repeated. So initially I thought this one of the 3, my aunt and my sister and I, would probably be the feature photo, but I think I'll actually trim that down and put it here. And let's see. One of my uncle. I like that. Yeah, you know what I do? I think I'll use this photo as the whole subject photo because I like the way that it looks. And then maybe do actually a couple of pages of these. So let me go ahead and fill in some of these photos, and then I'll come back. The way that I'm going to trim them is the big ones, since they aren't a full 6, I'm going to trim them so that I can frame them. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I've trimmed those out, and since I can't really crop these middle 2 down anymore, I'm going to let them fill up the whole space, even though I've cropped these 2 photos, the ones that go on the top and bottom, basically they were like 5.5, so I trimmed them down to 3.5, I think. And then one of these kind of damaged or wrinkled papers, this has to do with weddings, and my wedding was a long time ago. And we didn't really have bridesmaids and groomsmen, we just had one of each. So that side really doesn't apply to me. So I'm just going to use this side, and I like the way that looks. And so that will go up here on the top as a border, or a, what do you call it? And then the other one, you are the love of my life, and his and hers. I could use that, but I'm going to say it's okay that I don't, and I think I'm just going to go with, I thought I was, but no, I don't think I am. I'm just going to go with that same color in the top and the bottom, but I don't actually think I like that. I think maybe I would like to bring in some color. So let's just see. Maybe not. Okay, this is, oh, I don't like that either. I don't know. Maybe this. Yeah, that's alright. This is just a bunch of words. Okay, so we'll use that for the bottom one. And then I'll probably want to bring in a little bit of this over to that other side. Okay, right back. Okay, so I have both of those photos matted, and I've been kind of debating which way I like the photos. And I think what I like is to have the sailboat with all that water actually on the top, because I feel like the way that this photo goes, even though I think chronologically they would make more sense this way, I feel like the way that this photo's taken, the dock kind of makes like a big arrow to point to those. And I also feel like this photo has so much empty space on it that would be a great place for some kind of an embellishment. So maybe, let's see what we have. I don't know. Simply Delightful is kind of cute. It's not exactly what I want. Oh, this is cute, actually. This is an arrow. So, oh, and it's a sticky note. Okay. So this was last summer, I think it was last summer, and my sister came down, and we went out on my aunt and uncle's sailboat. And the reason this was kind of nostalgic for us was that my grandfather had a sailboat when I was growing up. So I think I like the idea of this, but I'm not sure I completely like it yet. but I like that it's a sticky note, so I can just sort of stick it there. Now I almost think I like it better down here. Well, I think that one's going to need a little work. So let's just put it in the pocket and not worry about it too much. Let me just let it sit there to see if I will continue to like it. The reason that I'm not totally doing this in real time and I'm doing the adhesive and that sort of thing off camera is I don't have a lot of battery whatever power on my iPad right now, and also we turn our internet off at nighttime now so the kids don't stay up all night long because they do that. And so usually if I was making the video, I could I upload it, at certain, after I make a few videos. But then the way that I'm doing it today is I'm going to have to rely a little less on that. So, yeah. Maybe this is... I think I just like one photo and probably down here on this side. So I am going to try to trim these other photos up as much as possible and either put, well, I'll probably do two things. One is I'll put the rest of the photo, something like this and trim them down just like I just did. But then I'm also probably with the rest of them just going to make, yeah, I'll probably do... I'm thinking that I'm going to use one of these spaces to divide up the photos, but they won't have to be divided up according to the preset dividers. So I'm going to do some trimming and then I'll be back and I'll show you what I did. Okay, I'll be back. So it's a new day and I decided to use this thing that I bought at IKEA to organize some of the embellishments because otherwise there was just a lot of packaging and yeah, a lot of times I reuse the packaging, but I've been on a bit like a get rid of it kick, so I'm actually going to throw it away. Yes, because I have tons of it. And the thing is you really don't need to save everything. So, yeah. So I have a bunch of embellishments, and then on the tray I opened up that chipboard embellishments, and so these are all from the Family Stories line from Teresa Collins, and I'm just going to figure I can finish this page with just the stuff in front of me. So I'm going to try to not get up and just finish it right here, right now, very quickly. So some of the things I started to cut, I didn't really finish. After I stopped recording, I kind of lost steam, and then a day went by and I didn't do anything. So I'm back now, and I just used this little insert from another, actually Teresa Collins collection, and so this was perfectly 6 by 12, so I was going to use that for the background paper. And let's see, I had some redundancy in the photos, so those I need to set aside. And then a few of the photos were vertical, which kind of caused a problem because the rest of them were not. So those are my two problem photos. I had some photos of the kids down under. They are little stinkers and they don't love the sailboat as much as I do. So those are kind of I could make two little things with those, and then I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess I need to make one more, and then I could call this whole deal done. Yeah. Let me try that. Okay. So I think what I'll do is this will be like the opener, and then this page will be like Jenny was here, and this is why we did this whole, you know, bit. So that page will go sort of like that, and then this page will be the kids are little stinkers are going to be on the back. And then this will be just part of that whole ta-da. Okay. So I haven't been very productive with scrapbooking lately. It's true. Sad but true. Let's just start with this first. Well, I don't know. Let's start with the end. We'll start with this last one. And I'm just grabbing a piece of paper. I think I'm just going to grab one of these, which seems like a little bit wasteful. Or maybe I'll just leave it on that. I'll just leave it on that. That way I won't stress myself out. With, I feel like I have too much stuff. So it was great. Like I'm even just went over there and found a little bit more. And so, yeah, it takes a little while to get it out of the package. I mean, not a super long time, but I guess if you could do that in the beginning and just have it all like this, theoretically, saving time. Yeah, I lament that I'm seriously not as fast as I used to be, and I really wanted to get that back. So let's try to do that. Okay, one of these photos needs to be cropped. Let's crop this one. Even those kind of seem like they could be cropped a little more, but I think I'm going to do like what they call full bleed with those, and then have these have a little bit of a border. I know this isn't super decorated, but I don't think everything needs to be. So I'm gonna tack those down. I'll be right back. Actually, I'm just gonna tack them down on camera because I feel like if I don't, I'll be like, oh, let me just go do something else in life. So I go through these. I've been scrapbooking for a long time. I started like modern scrapbooking probably around the time, around 2000. A little bit before. My son was born in 2002, and I had kind of started scrapbooking before that, but definitely like in full force after he was born. So anyways, it's now 2015, and so I've been scrapbooking for like modern scrapbooking, I would say, for like 15 years, right? So I definitely go through periods where I'm more excited about this hobby and less excited about, other times where I'm less excited. And I'm sort of going through a less excited time period. Why? I don't know. I just am. So, how can I add a little bit of journaling to this? So I'm just going to add a little hello. not a ton. Just right here. And then, yeah, I sort of wanted to get a little bit of gold on every page. I'm not sure how that's going to work out in this little album. The outside of the album that I'm using, as I think you saw before, boy, I cannot work a tape runner. 15 years of scrapbooking and still challenged in that department. It is true. Sorry I say so much. But yeah, I do go through periods where I'm like, I don't really feel like scrapbooking. And I've been that way for kind of a little bit too long here, and I'm not done with this hobby or anything like that. I'm just going through a not very excited about it period. And I find that life is happier overall when I'm scrapbooking. Like, seriously. I think, like, if I'm exercising regularly and, let me put this over here. If I'm exercising regularly and scrapbooking regularly, I'm usually life is a little happier. So sometimes when I'm not scrapbooking, it's kind of a sign that, I don't know, maybe something else is going on. Nothing major, just a, you know, little slump. It's honestly been a stressful year. So my my kids and my in-laws and my, it's just been like we've had lots of challenges this year. I guess as we do every year. Shouldn't be surprised anymore. That's the brilliance of my sister, is she's always like, and you're surprised because why? Like she, I don't know. And I'm always like, yeah, you're right, I get it. Okay, so I'm just putting a few flags up there, and I kind of want to add one little, yeah, let's do that. These are nice because they're self-adhesive. I like that. Oh, maybe these were too. Ah, maybe, yeah, this was self-adhesive. That's why I couldn't stick the tape runner on it. Duh. There we go. Well, I didn't know that, but that's pretty cool. I think everything should be like this. Like, I'll cut out and then I'll self-adhesive. I don't think the lighting is very good right now. Let me change that. So there we go. Whoops. That overlapping the top of that photo just a little bit. So sometimes, like right now, I'm just forcing myself to get back into scrapbooking. Like, I'm like, I'm gonna make a page. I'm gonna make something anyways. Well, that's really cool. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm right back. And so, the other thing that I feel like slows me down a little bit is I still don't have a complete handle on this space. Because I used to scrapbook standing up, and now I sit down, but I still have to get up and get things, and I definitely think that slows me down. Oh, why did I think this was a good idea? I don't know. Sometimes these big chipboard, whatever you call them, just seem so unwieldy, right? But I want to get just a little something on this page that was a little dimensional, but I don't think it's going to be this. Let us see. That's a different theme. Me. Okay, so there are some like little potty people in this line, and I think that somehow I could, not that one, but maybe incorporate some of those. Oh, here we go. And it says together, so like the only benefit of my kids acting up on the boat and not wanting to go sailing because they really think it's super boring, which breaks my heart. But they're together, so that's kind of good. Now these are not. Oh, these are bad. These are chipboard elements that, like, the backing isn't even totally coming off. That's annoying. Oh well. And then the other thing is I've really I'm really thinking that I want to start scrapbooking like with a tote and just go places. So where can this together go? Kind of like that. But I don't, alright, I think I'm just going to use this for journaling. And I'm going to use a Sharpie. Okay. They hung out down in the cabin, but at least they were, and then I'll put the together. Okay, together is way too long. Do we have another together? I feel like we probably do in this giant line of product. Together, there we go. We'll use this together. But we're not going to use the at last. We're just going to use the together part of that. This is from a wedding line. There we go. Yeah, see, I've just stood up again. So that's ergonomically not awesome. Also, my old scrapbooking room was downstairs, and so now I'm like away from everyone, which is great for filming these videos, but I really used to like it a little bit more when I was near everybody. So I would like to do more downstairs scrapbooking. Okay, now let's try this little, that's so annoying. That little star, which is going to need a piece of twine. Oh my gosh, I put my twine somewhere and then I forgot where I put it. I think I remember now. Yeah, I put it in with my washi tape. Or at least I did with some of it. There we go. So let's just use a tiny bit of washi on this little star. Okay, this is the part of the video where I'm thinking I go way too long and it's way too boring. I've been listening to, as far as scrapbooking podcasts go, I've been listening to the Paper Clipping Roundtable forever, and then the Digi Paper Clipping Roundtable, which became, I don't know, the Digi Show, was that what it was called? And then that ended, and then there's a new Digi show called the Digi Scrap Geek podcast. So I listen to that, even though I don't do digital. And then Doris Sander mentioned, wait, I cannot thread that for some bizarre reason. Let's just do it like this. Oh my gosh. So she mentioned the Scrap Gals podcast, and I've been listening to that and I love it. I think it's really entertaining and fun, and like it's just two scrapbookers talking about scrapbooking, and I can really relate. I like it a lot. And then I can't remember how I think maybe Julie Van Balzer was on Paper Clipping Roundtable and mentioned her podcast, and she's had a podcast actually for since I want to say 2012, so a couple of years here. She doesn't do like a weekly, I think it's more like monthly, so there aren't as many episodes, but I kind of binge listened to that recently, and I didn't listen to everything. It's not all about scrapbooking. It's called, I think it's called Adventures in Arting. And so it's her and her mother, which I think is really interesting. And so I've listened to a few of those, and I can't remember now what my original point was. I had one. It's gone. I need some adhesive. So I've been listening to lots, and I've been wanting to scrapbook, but then I just haven't done anything. It is true. Sad but true. Anyways, when I go through these little scrapbooking slumps, I think it is important to take the time off. But then there comes a point when it's like, okay, time to get back on the horse. You know, if we're going to keep, if we still enjoy buying scrapbooking supplies, we need to still enjoy actually scrapbooking. So, ta-da. Okay, I'm going to call that one done. And I'm not going to dwell on the fact that this annoyed me. Okay, so that's the last. What I'm trying to decide with these pages is, do I want them to be like all together or like, I don't know. Because if they're just three, okay, this is my dilemma, okay? If they're just 3 pages, like 3 physical page protectors, then I can move them around. But then the first page is going to go with something else, and the last page is going to go with something else. Whereas if I used, if I did it like this, I don't even know what I'm saying. I could do 3 spreads, you know what I mean? And I think it would take up the same amount, but it would take up 1 more page protector. Ugh. I'm not gonna stop worrying about that. Okay, the other annoying part is this, I think, is a little bit more than 6 by 6, and I've already matted it. Grr. I'm not gonna do anything more with that, but oh well. So I need a companion page for this one. So let's use the aqua colored paper. Oops. And it should go, that's the reverse side, like this, but I don't have the full page. Let me see if I have another one. I'm sure I do. Well, I can't find one, but this is going to be like kind of close enough, and not much of it is going to actually show. So I I have lots of it, so I don't have to be precious with it. What I mean by that is sometimes we really like something so much that we're like, oh, I don't really, it's this weird little paradox of paper scrapbookers is not everybody is afflicted, I don't think, but I am to a certain degree, is that I want to say it, you know, I blame my parents and my grandparents maybe into, you know, oh, you should save things because you never know if you're going to need them in the future. And the thing is that even if all of the scrapbooking suppliers just closed up shop and never made another piece of paper, I would seriously, even if I de-stashed by half, have enough to scrapbook for the rest of my life, seriously. And I also have tons of this particular paper, so I really shouldn't worry about it. I should, like, be purposely wasteful. Isn't that a horrible thought? It's just silly. I want to say I should just not shop so much, but you know what? I love the shopping aspect of scrapbooking. It is fun. Especially when I can get things for so cheap. I just have the little, you know, thrill of the bargain. Alright, I'm going to trim this other page just a tiny bit. So it was showing through. So my sister's going to come at the end of the summer, which I'm super excited about. And what my plan is that I want to have this little summer thing done by then. And it won't be all about her, but she'll be in it in different places. But I want this to be just summers, not even all from the same year. And I'm not sure I'll do this chronologically, but maybe now that I think about it, that might be a good idea. Like this could say 2015. Pardon me, let's do that. So, let's see if I have some gold letters. Chances are I do. Yes, these aren't from the, that's going to be too big. Those aren't from my yard sale stash, but they were just handy. They're already out. This might work. So my sort of plan, as I'm making it up right now, for this album is that I'm going to use this color scheme by the Teresa Collins kind of color scheme, which isn't going to be hard to do, even if I go off her products, you know. This was 2014. That's just going to go, oh, that's not going to fit. I have to cram it a little bit this way. So the whole album is sort of going to be like stuff I love about summer, because it's summer right now, and I do like to scrapbook about whatever, like if it's, you know, Christmas is coming, I like to scrapbook about Christmas, and if it's almost Halloween, that's fun. Oh, I'm just making a mess of this. And I could seriously, this is a point where I could get an extra, because I have extras. But you know I'm not going to do that. Anyways, I'm kind of have the goal of getting this book done before she gets here. So it could be like this lovely little coffee table book, you know. And I have a zillion scrapbooks, it's true. But the thing is, like, when the family gets together, it's hard to get them to want to see a scrapbook. So I think that if I do one of these albums about summer, because it'll still be summer, and she mentioned that she didn't have a lot of summer fun this year, so this will all be about like summer fun, including like stuff that she's done that's fun, stuff that we've done together. Okay, hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, I think that it's what usually my sister wants to do when she comes is look at a bunch of pictures and then tell me, she usually will tell me, oh, I need to get copies of all these things. And then I always say something like, oh, sure, we'll do that. And then sometimes I'll email her some stuff, but it honestly doesn't happen. You know? So maybe my goal, because I know she's coming, will be, I want to put something, a little something behind there if I can figure out something to do. Oh, maybe just a little strip like this. So I've got this wedding line too that doesn't really, I don't need it. I don't need it for the wedding aspect of it, but the colors match, so I'm going to use it in this little album. Also, sometimes I think when you're in a, so I know I'm jumping around, sorry. When you're in a scrapbooking rut, I think that if you can give yourself a little challenge, and like honestly, the let's do 20 pages with this yard sale haul is a great goal, but it's not actually, like, it's not jazzing me up. I'm not excited. But making like these 2 little albums, I think is kind of, with the goal of, this is what I can show my sister when she gets here. That's kind of making me a little bit more excited. So I think this golden book here, and what I mean by that is it's this 6x12 golden book. I think it will be chronological, and let's stick to this Teresa Collins line, and yeah, I think that'll be kind of fun to do. So, let's see how that works. All right, so we've done 3, and I don't have any embellishments on this, and I want to put some on because I think it'll make, like with this one, it already made this a little bit better for, okay, this is Simply Delightful. Will that work here? Not really. I want some kind of dimensional thing to like beef this up. Now I want to put this at the top. Oh, but I don't think I can. Grr. This is what I'm not loving about working on both sides. When you just make a straight up layout, then you don't have to worry about that. But I actually do on this one. So, dimensional, something dimensional. That's so funny because I'm usually not very dimensional. Alright, so this says family, but that doesn't really, I don't know. Like if this said, yeah, that doesn't work. I need something lumpy here. I'll go back to that. I'm also thinking that it might be a great idea to just cut this sticker sheet up so that it's going to fit better in my little containery thing and be more accessible. Yep. So I just put that like right in here so it's easier to get to. Okay, here's some dimensional things. Oh, this would be good. Today, Right here right now. Okay. This might work. I'm not loving how these are coming apart. I want something to say adventure. Okay, I like that there though. So my theory is, if you like it a little bit, stick it down. And then keep going. And yeah. Alright. I'm not sure how I'm going to keep the top, this in this pocket. It feels like it's going to come out. I might have to just tape that down later, but I'm going to leave it for now. Okay. Let's move on. Okay, so this is going to go here. Yes, yes. Yeah, this is bugging me because this thing is starting to fall apart, but it's not like completely falling apart. And the backs, see, it doesn't. I'm a little annoyed with this whole bit. All right, I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to keep going here. Okay, so this one was here. This will kind of go like this. And this time, I think I'm going to trim these two just a little bit. So they were at 3, or they were at 4. I'll put them at 3.5. Just so we get a little bit. And then I think I'll do something different there. So 3.5. And this one needs to be trimmed down. I have to trim down my man. He and my daughter went down to Key West. So last year, my daughter and I did a road trip. And then this year, my husband was like, now it's my turn. And I just about, I don't know, my sister was like, why didn't you go? And I was like, well, last year we went. And he really felt like, you know, she needed some time. And so he went and I didn't. And she's like, how do you feel about that? I'm like, I'm insanely jealous. So yeah, I'm insanely jealous. I didn't get to go. And do I like that at all? You know, do I like that idea? No. I want to go. You know, if we're going anywhere, I want to go. But I really did think that she needs some time. My son has ADHD. And so my daughter and he actually have gotten along this year better than ever, which has been great. Or, you know, like they used to when they were little, I should say, because they used to get along really well. Okay, this is a little... Okay, I don't know. It cut off, and I'm not sure exactly where it cut off, so sorry about that. Anyways, I was saying my daughter and my husband went down to Key West without me, and I'm insanely jealous. Because I always want to go, you know, I never want to stay. I want to be the one that goes on adventures. But I did think it was good and important that they spend some time. And my daughter gets to have some alone time with a parent away from her brother. So my son has ADHD and I homeschool him now. So he ends up getting, like, comparatively, it's, you know, like much more time. And so if you're the sibling of a kid that has some, you know, special needs, then sometimes that feels not so fair. So we try to just do a little extra something with my daughter so that she gets like some special time. And so then my son has his friend over, and I talked to the mother for a long time. You know, as she was dropping him off, she stayed and we had tea. It was kind of nice. She's sweet. And she's one of her boys also has ADHD, and so we end up talking about balance and the challenges of that, and then the balance of that and the rest of your life, and exercise, and how to eat. And she's really thin, and she lost a lot of weight apparently, which I can't believe, because sometimes you look at skinny people and you're just like, how could you have never, it seems like they were always skinny. But she told me all about this eating small meals every 2 hours, so I'm gonna try that. And okay, here we go. So these 2 pages have no embellishments. I think that's fine. Not every page needs to have them. Now I just need to do 2 more, and they were gonna go like, I think they'll go like this, and I'll do the horizontal split. Okay, let's do that. So the bottom, I would like to be maybe even like, I don't know. I don't even think it matters, right? Maybe the top will be this, and then the bottom will be like a more solid color, maybe dark blue. I'm looking for that to see if I have it. Not sure if I do have it. I do, but I don't even think it's the same line, and so it's not going to match. And I'm just going to leave these 3 pages with the same line, or at least with the same manufacturer. Okay, that's cute. But I'm not finding any kind of a dark blue, which is a bummer. I can find this. I guess I'll just have to use that. So I'm going to cut this one into 12 by 6. And then the other one will be, I guess, 6 by 6. Because I want to do that vertical split. Or the horizontal split. Yeah. Oh! I just noticed this out of the corner of my eye. In the sea! And so this is all about that wedding line, but I can definitely use the in the sea. And I noticed that too, which is this line. Oh, no, it isn't. Something Wonderful. So I'm mixing up Family Stories with Something Wonderful with Save the Date, because all of the papers work well enough. Oops. Also, I don't love, I don't love the placement of the things on my desk. And so I've been rearranging a ton lately, and I don't know. I kind of think that my scrapbooking space needs to be rethought a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do what they call full bleed, which is where you put it right up to the edge. Because I'm standing up and sitting down, and I know I have a squeaky chair, and it annoys me too. Let's see if I like that better. I think I do. I really like this side though. So I just wonder, like, how somebody at a scrapbooking yard sale has, like, so much stuff that's, like, current and in the package, and, like, like this I just took out of the package, and I took these two off. Like, it was a full and complete thing. I don't get it. I mean, I'm happy, but I don't get it. So I made a video about the haul. It was my best haul ever, I think. Like, it was the least expensive, the quickest, and the most productive, I think, ever. It was $30. Usually I spend more like $50 or $60. So that was, you know, nice to spend less and to get so much stuff. It was crazy. Let's add a little bit of gold in the middle there, and I have this tape, which I don't know where the end of the tape. Where's the end of the tape? Oh, I'm making a mess. That's the other thing is, like, I try to keep this desk clean, and I didn't used to keep my scrapbooking desk clean in my old space, and I think that's more productive, but I just can't look at a messy desk. When I finish, I have to kind of, like, at least clean it up enough to have it not stress me out, you know. In other words, I always don't mind having things crammed in closets and boxes and different storage things, but then I want all my surfaces to be clear. So, like, in my kitchen, there's no, like, chaos going on the counters, you know. They're all clean. We do have, like, a coffee maker and a toaster on the counter, but there's nothing else on the counter, and that's the way I like it. And that's the way my husband likes it too. He's much more minimal than I am. But actually, what's so interesting is he's more of a clutter on his desk and surfaces than I am. Like, in his office, his desk is all covered with stuff, and I always clean mine at the end of the day, and it's, yeah. But he has, like, overall less stuff than I do. But he's got his, like, all out. I don't know. I've been trying to organize and clean up tons. Okay, so here we go with this. I'm liking this so far. And then I liked the idea of, like, doing some kind of a doing some kind of something coming out from those two photos, probably like Project Life type cards. So I'm just going to cut this one by hand. I know, eek, right? Yikes. I also feel like this video is going so long. And so anyways, with my son's friend's mom there told me to eat every 2 hours. It's almost time for me to eat. And so I don't normally like to eat often. I just like to do like one big meal and then be done with it. But she's like, that's not the right way to do it. So I'm going to try it her way because she's skinny and I'm not. Like, I grew up thin, but as I've become an adult, and with kids, I blame the kids. I don't know where I want to put that. But I definitely have had a weight problem as an adult that I didn't have growing up. So annoying. Just going to put this in. So I need to go eat. And then I'll come back and I will finish. But what I eat is like just a very, very small amount, you know. Oh, I almost like that on the back there, and I wouldn't have chosen that. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I tried to start uploading, and it was taking forever, so I thought, well, I'll just start on this side of the page. And so I double matted that photo of the boat, and yeah. And then I think I did a little bit of like, where should I put things? So I think I want to put family right here. And even though it's not as much of a contrast as I would like. And then I think I want this little arrow or the anchor either at the very bottom or the very top. And I want this to say family of boaters. And I was thinking that I wanted to use these little flags, but I'm not really sure that I do. How about not over the photo? How about we just start sticking things down, Katie? I really want to speed up my process. Yes, I do. It can be done. I've done it before. I'll do it again. I think the biggest thing to speeding up your process is like a regular practice. And so when you do it all the time, then it becomes like, you know, second nature. And when you don't do it very often, like me lately, then you get slow. Yeah. Okay. So I just need of. I think I will just use, I don't even know. That's the other thing is if you're doing this all the time, then here we'll just use these. If you're doing things, scrapbooking out like often, then you're going to know where all your stuff is, you know, right off the bat. Family of, and then I want to have in like big dark scripty letters, boaters, which I think I will use this, which this matches that pretty well. The other option would be, I got a zillion, but I think that's actually going to be too big. Yeah, I think so. Let's see. It might not be. And actually, when I'm looking at it, it might be fun to use yellow, even though I haven't used a lot of yellow. I think I like it. Why? I don't know. Maybe gold though, because I've got the gold up here. I do like that yellow. But I think gold might be better. So I have this gold, which I think will also be too large. Oh, I'm annoying myself. I'm so sorry. Maybe I'll do it this way. With the wood grain. These are, I didn't get these at the yard sale, but I really want to use them up because they annoy me, because they're all over. But I also, they don't annoy me so much that I want to get rid of them because I still think they're pretty cute. And my sister's really into word games, so I think she'll think this is cute. But I do feel like this is too big now. No, it's not working. So pick it and stick it, except if it doesn't work, then put it away and try it again. And so the story that I want to sort of tell on this page that I'm not really telling in words yet is that my kids, my daughter's come a long way in terms of boating. I think, let's try this anyways. It's not going to work. Who am I kidding? Go with my first impulse. It's not good. I just don't think that's going to fit. Yeah. Yes, scrapbooking in real time. The big ugly truth of how long it actually takes. And can you see that? I think you can, but you can't. I know there's a wax paper thing that you can do, and oh, that's so smart, but I don't know why, I just don't like to. Although sometimes it's good to take advice like that. Maybe I should. There does look like there's smaller letters. Let's just kind of line these up so I can make sure it's centered. Well, some of them look smaller, and some of them just don't look smaller. Anyways, I love your comments. Thank you. I've got a bunch of comments. I really appreciate that. I love the feedback. What is wrong with this S? Is it backwards? This S is backwards, people. Yeah, that's so bizarre. Oh, maybe it's a question mark. Okay, I was gonna say, like, what are these? What's going on with these letters? But I think that was a question mark. I mean, that was a question, but that little thing was a question mark. Okay, do we have a small O? I guess this is a small O. Yeah, my sisters lived in Missouri, gosh, for like a zillion years now. I spelled voters wrong. B-O-A, not A-O. And there's rivers and lakes out there, but no salt water. And she started to get nostalgic for New England too. It was so funny when we were little old ladies. You know, we ended up back up in New England. I could sort of picture that. It could happen. Okay, so there's a couple stories that I'm telling that I'm not really... There's several, actually. So maybe that next page is the place where I jot all those notes down. Yeah, this stuff isn't working great for that purpose. Okay, I feel like there should be like a little line of red or something here. Let's see that cut 'em up thing that I did before. So I do think that makes it easier to use these things. They seem less intimidating. Or they just seem like I can fit them in that little, that thing. Okay. So, I do have these kind of thingy-doos. I don't know why, but I kind of like that. The numbers. I was thinking I wanted something with red, and this isn't all red, but it's, let's just do that. Okay, I'm going to put where we are here in these letters. So we are on Boca Ciega Bay. And then these lines I'm going to use for the journaling. Yeah, the kind of benefit to going too long is that I'm getting annoyed with myself. So sometimes that makes me speed up and not care so much. So I think I'm just coming in a little rusty. Because, yeah, it's been like, I don't know, over a month since I've done any real scrapbooking. Oh, that's not gonna fit. Okay. Can I move it over? Just a little bit. So, what else can I tell you, people? I don't know. I'm just going to let that letter hang all the way off. I'm actually just going to cut it off, and I think we know where we are. I mean, we'll know enough. My family will know. You might think it looks cut off. It does, but I'm getting to that glorious point where I don't care. I think that's a good place to be sometimes. Like, you know, a productive but not overly thinking about things. That's a good spot to be. Yep. So this one is going over too. Boca Ciega Bay. Okay, now for the journaling. Jenny came. Ooh, I hope this isn't going over. I have to have a light hand. I actually think this was in September. I'm going to switch to a ballpoint pen. Just so it doesn't. Okay, so Jenny came from Missouri to visit for the Tom Petty concert, and we took some time to visit with Carrie and Lee on their boat, which reminded Jenny and I of when, oops. Okay, I'm back, and I tried to start uploading and it was taking forever, so I thought, well, I'll just start on this side of the page. And so I double matted that photo of the boat, and yeah. And then I think I did a little bit of like, where should I put things? So I think I want to put family right here, and even though it's not as much of a contrast as I would like. And then I think I want this little arrow or the anchor either at the very bottom or the very top. And I want this to say family of boaters. And I was thinking that I wanted to use these little flags, but I'm not really sure that I do. How about not over the photo? How about we just start sticking things down, Katie? I really want to speed up my process. Yes, I do. It can be done. I've done it before. I'll do it again. I think the biggest thing to speeding up your process is like a regular practice. And so when you do it all the time, then it becomes like, you know, second nature. And when you don't do it very often, like me lately, then you get slow. Yeah. Okay. So I just need of. I think I will just use, I don't even know. That's the other thing is if you're doing this all the time, then here we'll just use these. If you're doing things, scrapbooking out like often, then you're going to know where all your stuff is, you know, right off the bat. Family of, and then I want to have in like big dark scripty letters, boaters, which I think I will use this, which this matches that pretty well. The other option would be, I got a zillion, but I think that's actually going to be too big. Yeah, I think so. Let's see. It might not be. And actually, when I'm looking at it, it might be fun to use yellow, even though I haven't used a lot of yellow. I think I like it. Why? I don't know. Maybe gold though, because I've got the gold up here. I do like that yellow. But I think gold might be better. So I have this gold, which I think will also be too large. Oh, I'm annoying myself. I'm so sorry. Maybe I'll do it this way. With the wood grain. These are, I didn't get these at the yard sale, but I really want to use them up because they annoy me, because they're all over. But I also, they don't annoy me so much that I want to get rid of them because I still think they're pretty cute. And my sister's really into word games, so I think she'll think this is cute. But I do feel like this is too big now. No, that's not working. So pick it and stick it, except if it doesn't work, then put it away and try it again. And so the story that I want to sort of tell on this page that I'm not really telling in words yet is that my kids, my daughter's come a long way in terms of voting. I think, let's try this anyways. It's not going to work. Who am I kidding? Go with my first impulse. It's not good. I just don't think that's going to fit. Yeah. Oh, yes. Scrapbooking in real time. The big ugly truth of how long it actually takes. And can you see that? I think you can, but you can't. I know there's a wax paper thing that you can do, and Oh, that's so smart, but I don't know why, I just don't like to. Although sometimes it's good to take advice like that. Maybe I should. There does look like there's smaller letters. Let's just kind of line these up so I can make sure it's centered. Well, some of them look smaller, and some of them just don't look smaller. Anyways, I love your comments. Thank you. I've got a bunch of comments. I really appreciate that. I love the feedback. What is wrong with this S? Is it backwards? This S is backwards, people. Yeah, that's so bizarre. Oh, maybe it's a question mark. Okay, I was gonna say, like, what are these? What's going on with these letters? But I think that was a question mark. I mean, that was a question, but that little thing was a question mark. Okay, do we have a small O? I guess this is a small O. Yeah, my sisters lived in Missouri, gosh, for like a zillion years now. I spelled voters wrong. B-O-A, not A-O. And there's rivers and lakes out there, but no salt water. And she started to get nostalgic for New England too. It was so funny when we were little old ladies. You know, we ended up back up in New England. I could sort of picture that. It could happen. Okay, so there's a couple stories that I'm telling that I'm not really, there's several actually. So maybe that next page is the place where I jot all those notes down. Yeah, this stuff isn't working great for that purpose. Okay, I feel like there should be like a little line of red or something here. Let's see that cut 'em up thing that I did before. So I do think that makes it easier to use these things. They seem less intimidating. Or they just seem like I can fit them in that thing. Okay. So, I do have these kind of thingy-doos. I don't know why, but I kind of like that. The numbers. I was thinking I wanted something with red, and this isn't all red, but let's just do that. Okay, I'm going to put where we are here in these letters. So we are on Boca Ciega Bay. And then these lines I'm going to use for the journaling. Yeah, the kind of benefit to going too long is that I'm getting annoyed with myself. So sometimes that makes me speed up and not care so much. So I think I'm just coming in a little rusty. Because, yeah, it's been like, I don't know, over a month since I've done any real scrapbooking. Oh, that's not gonna fit. Okay. Can I move it over? Just a little bit. So, what else can I tell you, people? I don't know. I'm just going to let that letter hang all the way off. I'm actually just going to cut it off, and I think we know where we are. I mean, we will know enough. My family will know. You might think it looks cut off. It does, but I'm getting to that glorious point where I don't care. I think that's a good place to be sometimes. Like, you know, a productive but not overly thinking about things. That's a good spot to be. Yep. So this one is going over too. Boca Ciega Bay. Okay, now for the journaling. Jenny came. Ooh, I hope this isn't going over. I have to have a light hand. I actually think this was in September. I'm going to switch to a ballpoint pen. Just so it doesn't. Okay, so Jenny came from Missouri to visit for the Tom Petty concert, and we took some time to visit with Carrie and Lee on their boat, which reminded Jenny and I of when Grandpa Alan used to take us out on the Ellen in Hayden. It was a little okay, a lot frustrating that my kids don't seem to love sailboats, and they played down in the cabin. Okay. Oops. Oh, I'm gonna have the date twice, but oh well. It's okay. So let's get the album back out. So there we go, like that. And I was almost going to put something here. Let's see. Let's just do a heart. I know that doesn't have a ton to do with it, but that adds in the gold, which I like. Those two are not really embellished, and then that's just a little bit, and I know that took me forever. Okay, I'm going to call that one layout, and so that's one of my 20. Not all of the layouts in this series will be in this little book, but some of them will. So there we go. Okay, so the thing I feel like I need to fix is just this from sliding out. And how am I going to do that? I don't really know. Okay, I think this will beef it up enough. I don't think I need it here, but I think it could go here and it would make it so this isn't going to slide out. And it's not really covering up anything earth-shattering. And is it helping? Let's see. No. It's still sliding out. That is annoying. I think it's even sliding out worse than it was before. I do like sort of the way that that looks though. But I'm not going to... I don't want to make it worse. But let's just see if maybe I could put some other kind of a border strip down there, because I kind of like that. No, I think it's fine without it. I think what I'm going to do is just use this little piece of double stick tape. I know this is such a scrapbooking sin, huh? And put it, hopefully, inconspicuously down here under the photo, but then it's like leaching out onto the paper there. And so I'm hoping that's just going to make it stick to the page protector. Yeah, I think that's going to work. So that's just, now that's not going to slide out. That one doesn't seem to be having that same problem, but this one definitely is. So just a little piece of double stick tape down there. Okay, we're calling this done. Thank goodness, right? Okay, so this is going to be a chronological album of summers, like different things we do in the summer. So there's my little title page for this part. And I guess one thing that I could do is like sew these three together so that when you're looking at them, they're going to stay together. Let me do that and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I got that sewed and I hope it's straight. I am gonna make sure all the holes are kind of lined up. I tried to do that, but I'm just gonna make that a little bit easier with the crocodile here. It was so funny. I saw something I can't remember what, or maybe I heard it, yeah, I heard it on the paper clipping roundtable that somebody was getting rid of things, and I'm in that mode, so I totally get it. They get rid of the crocodile, and I was like, oh my gosh, I would never get rid of that. Get rid of a lot of things, but it's so useful. Even my husband borrows it. So yeah, I like how it looks sewed. You can't really even see the stitch line. It's not that big of a deal. But that way, because I'm going to be doing this album in chronological order, and not every little spread is going to be 3 pages long, but this keeps it all together. So, ta-da! Yeah, and it's photo heavy, which this book probably will be pretty photo heavy and like a little bit light on the embellishments. Okay, thanks for watching if you're still here. See you next time.